Humiliated, destroyed, fooled, toyed, smashed. The team of Thiago Motta 0, Atalanta 4. The biggest loss at home since 1967. It's over, guys. Everything is over. Instead of going from an illusion to a dream, we went from an illusion to a nightmare. Lazio is playing this evening and they have the possibility to put us back there. 5th out of the Champions League qualification 25-26. Continuing with Motta is probably the question that you are asking yourself. It's the question that you are asking, Beppe. Do we continue with Motta? I will answer immediately. Look, I told you after the Empoli elimination, another humiliation this season, that top 4 would not have been enough. I would not have been confident after a top 4 qualification to enter your homes and to tell you trust the process, trust the project. It's happening. Wait, be patient. With one game a week, with the entire time of the world to prepare it, I asked something more. I asked to convince in all these remaining games. I asked to see the potential of this team, the potential of these players, and especially the potential of this coach. I've chosen Thiago Motta. I've chosen personally Thiago Motta when I told you that he would have been the right man after Massimiliano Allegri. Was I wrong? Yes. Today we can say that I was wrong. But I have no fault at that. It's Thiago Motta that didn't answer. In football, everything goes extremely fast. From a Scudetto talk, after one game, you go out of Champions League. But today, honestly, I see no reason to tell you straight that we must be confident, that we must confirm, give time to Thiago Motta for next season. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Today we'll not speak about the game of yesterday, I will not show you any frame, I will not go... I already told you, I already recapped the game of yesterday. Humiliation, we were destroyed, smashed, fooled, toyed. I think that these 5 words are extremely clear. They are really telling you the game of yesterday. Look, Thiago Motta, going back on him because that's what I want to speak about today. He lost all the fundamental games between February and March. Inter win, and you are eliminated against PSV a few days later. You didn't take advantage of that positive win, of that beautiful victory against Inter, that beautiful played second half against Inter. Shaky legs, you don't play, you are eliminated against PSV. You go back in Serie A where you win against Cagliari. That is the 4th consecutive win in Serie A. You play against Empoli, a few days later you are eliminated. The way that we were eliminated, because don't forget about it, it was another humiliation, not as big as the one of Atalanta, because Coppa Italia, in a few years we will not talk about it anymore. That 4-0 from Atalanta, we'll speak about it. We always give the opportunity to an Atalanta to write history, because that's the first team since 1967 that was able to beat us with that margin in our home. We gave the possibility to Empoli to write history because never they reached, if I remember well, semi-final in our home of Coppa Italia. We go back against Verona. We have a small answer, 2-0 dominating game. And we go against Atalanta where it really matters and you are eliminated as well. I see no mental growth in that team. I see no learning process that is working, because after a loss like that, a lot of time we see we must learn from that defeat. That defeat will help us, will shake us up, will make us awake, we will understand, we will learn from where. I see absolutely no learning phase. I see no growth. I see no players that are saying we cannot accept that anymore. It has gone too far. Never again is what I wanted to hear after the Benfica game. That's what I wanted to hear after the PSV game, after the Empoli game. I wanted to hear never again. I wanted to promise never again. I didn't hear it. Unfortunately, I didn't hear it. Yesterday, Softage during the live, he said something that is totally correct. When it matters the most, we fold. And that's why, unfortunately, today, I cannot trust Thiago Motta on the long-term project because he doesn't learn. We don't see improvement. We don't hear this didn't work. I will not do that again anymore. And showing us the week later that indeed we understood our lesson. We don't. It looks like, and probably that's the worst thing, it looks like it's totally normal. Everything is totally normal. I told you that I wanted that big message against Benfica. No, A lot of people told me, Pepe, but even if we won, we will not have entered that top 8. We were playing at home. We were playing at home. We are out against Benfica, losing 2-0 after not being able to beat Bruges. It's all normal. It's all okay. PSV, we didn't hear anybody speaking. We heard Thiago Motta in press conference post-game, and that's something that if he wants to be a big coach, he really need to pay attention to grow there. He told us that he would have done exactly the same, that it happened, that PSV deserved more, that they played better. The only real wake-up signs that we heard were after Empoli, and only from the coach, where he said that word that we all know today, vergogna, shame. I see no other words. I see no other way to describe that game of Empoli. Shame, vergogna, because that's the reality. We didn't hear the management. We had to wait 14, 15, 16 hours later to finally hear Cristiano Giuntoli taking word for the first time this season after humiliation like that. Did it help? A bit against Verona. That was it. But it looks like it's all normal. Like when he says yesterday, we started well. No, Thiago. We didn't start well. After a 4-0 loss against Atalanta, where you say goodbye to a run, where you say goodbye of the top 3, probably you will be 5th tomorrow or today. If you tell me that's the first thing that you say, we started well, we are totally disconnected from the reality. First of all, because it's not the truth. If you're looking at the momentum, today I have no intention to edit the video. I'm not strong enough to edit the video. I have no intent. I don't want to edit the video. But if you tell me, if you're watching that momentum, you see that we played 8 minutes with intensity, with belief. 8 minutes with ball possession, where at the first counter-attack from Atalanta with Lookman, that they didn't score, we were scared. We collapsed, and it was over. The game of Juve was over. The game of Juve was 8 minutes, and 8 minutes without being really, really dangerous. That's it. So don't tell me we played well in the beginning, we started well, because it's not even truth. 8 minutes cannot be enough. And then after a 4-0, if that's the first thing that you say, we played well in the beginning, we started well, we are not there. We lost balance after the first goal. That's what Thiago Motta is telling us. So in his mind, after the game yesterday, he believed that we played well, according to him, for 30 minutes until the penalty. A penalty that is putting a bit in doubt, yes or no, I don't care about it. But it's not true. And then he's confirming us, because that's what I'm understanding, interpreting from the words of Thiago, he's confirming us that this team is extremely weak, probably even weaker than I was thinking, that a single slap on the face is actually putting us on the ground. We lost balance after that first goal. One mistake and we collapse, is what I understand. One mistake and we collapse. We showed it a lot of time this season after leading. I never watched that in the history of Juve, that after leading so many times you threw it away. Well, they showed it again yesterday. One mistake and we are not able to react. There is no grinta. There is no reaction. There is nothing that is happening. Also translating how we see Thiago Motta on the bench line. We don't see him firing up the team saying, guys, die, 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 die. But probably what hurt me yesterday the most was there will be no Scudetto talks anymore. And when he's saying it, it looks like really it's a relief. He's confirming it. Internally, we kept the balance, but yes, these voices could have influenced. Because, of course, the players, they understand, they read, they see YouTube, they see this. It could have influenced. The supporters, they have the right to speak about it. The media, they have the right to speak about it. We try to keep the balance there. No. You cannot be relieved that finally will not speak about Scudetto anymore. You should be disappointed. You should be angry. You should throw things away in that press conference room. You should cry. You should be totally nervous, because Juventus should always compete for the Scudetto. It's impossible to win it every single year, but it should be a pride to be there in that run of the Scudetto. It should be a stimulus. It should be a motivation. It should be something that you say, yes, let's go. And if we don't win it at the end of the year, at least for the very first time, we competed until match day 30, 32, 35, 36, 38, you never know, but we tried, we competed, we feel now what it is again to compete for the Scudetto, and next year we'll try to win it. If you tell me there will be no Scudetto talk, and I understand it like a relief, we are wrong. We are not at Juventus. We are disconnected from the reality. At Juventus, you cannot. You cannot. It's impossible. We are overprotecting our players. The team is young, the words of Locatelli. How many times did he say it? The words of Thiago Motta, the words of Giuntoli. The team is young, the team is young, the team is young, the team is young. The second youngest team of... And it's true. But who cares? You built the team, not Thiago Motta. Juventus as a whole, Giuntoli with Thiago Motta, how many times they told us that they were aligned, hand in hand. We have the youngest team of Serie A, the second youngest team. Yeah, it's our fault. It's our fault. We built it. Now that's the result. No experience. We didn't want leaders. The only leaders that we had, we pushed them away. So stop. We decided to go with a young team. It's not an excuse. I don't care. And anyway, young teams, they should have that intensity at least, that passion, that craziness of doing mistakes because they want to show the world, because they want to try. Here we see static, tetanized, frozen players. The day before in press conference, what do we hear? I cannot blame players about their efforts and hard work. The day before I hear players, they were on their knees after the goal against Verona because they really feel that responsibility, that pressure. We cannot blame their efforts. We cannot blame the availability of these players. We are overprotecting them. Meritocracy. A lot of time what I understood this season is that the meritocracy has been seen and rewarded from the training session where there is zero pressure. And that's the whole thing. That's the huge big problem what we see today. That without pressure, probably they are doing beautiful things. Probably they are rewarded. But then when it really matters, when there is that pressure, and we saw it, PSV, Empoli, Atalanta, that's where we totally collapse. It's not enough to do well in training session. Listen to the words of Locatelli that said yesterday, what now? Yes, tomorrow, being the first one to show the example at La Continasa to work immediately tomorrow. The only way is to work hard every single day. No, it's not true. It's not enough to work hard. The only thing that matters is at the end what you deliver on Sunday. What you deliver there, the results that you have, the victories, yes or no. How you perform, are you doing well or not? And that's where you deserve meritocracy. Not only during the week is important to prepare yourself, but what you deliver. So we are overprotecting them. They are young, they work hard, it's okay. They were influenced about that Scudetto. No. Again, Thiago Motta, why not confirming him next year, guys? Wrong starting 11, again. The biggest mistake again, Kenan Yildiz. He's telling us after the game, would I have played Bangula instead of Yildiz? Now, yes. Now that we know, yes, but we cannot go back in time. We knew. I made a video. I'm not a coach. I'm a fan. I knew. We knew. We all knew that he would not have performed. We all knew he had gastroenteritis. He was not even sure to be called up for the game. How can you not know? How are you insisting on Kenan Yildiz after the experience of Koopmeiners twice playing with a fever in probably one of them was probably the biggest game of your season? What you told us, PSV is the biggest game, the most important game of our season. You play with a fever player, a player with a flu, Koopmeiners that was not performing. So it's the third time, like the third time that we are out, the third time that you are doing the same mistakes. I tell you, one time can happen to everyone. It's sometimes even good. 2 times it starts to be too much, but okay, it can happen again. 3rd time, not. It's always the rule of 3. Nico Gonzalez, disaster. How many times will we see him playing? Subs. What are their position? What are their tasks? Wrong subs. Second half. Horror. Again. And it's again. How many times did we say here on the channel this season, you cannot enter a second half like that? How is it possible to give away that second half? Yesterday was horror show. You are losing 1-0. You just avoided to be punished with that pinball football of Atalanta with miraculous save by the post, by Di Gregorio, by this, by that. Only Di Gregorio to save from yesterday. What did you speak about during 15 minutes to actually put these guys back on the field, and after 40 seconds you leave totally alone Ederson and they go and score? 1 minute, 46 minutes, they score immediately. There is no identity in that team. There is no blueprint. That today I see no way of playing. There is nothing, guys. There is not even the beautiful football. Some people told me, but at least we saw some. I see nothing, guys. I see nothing. And I would have been happy to say that probably the 9th of March is a doomed day in the history of Juve. Humiliated yesterday by Atalanta 4-0 in our home. Humiliated in Spain in 2000. We are speaking about 25 years ago. 4-0 loss against Celta Vigo in UEFA Cup. I will tell you, maybe it's the 9th of March when we are playing that day. It's written that we need to be humiliated. And I would say, guys, it happens. No, because that's not the reality. It's absolutely not the reality. Guys, I will probably have a lot of things that I wanted to say that I totally forgot to say. Again, I want to finish with, in football is crazy. Football is totally crazy. What is right today is wrong tomorrow. But I don't want that they make that loss be totally normal, that it happens, because it cannot happen. At Juventus, you cannot happen. Today, it's really difficult. Really difficult. Really, really difficult. I think that 1.38% of winning the Scudetto from last week, that is probably 0 now, has been moved to Thiago Motta, 1.38% of staying at Juve next season. Grazie Juventini, thank you for your time. Grazie Forza. Always Forza. Even more today than yesterday. Forza Juve. Ciao.